Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Venusaila Marshant, and I will be presenting the proposal for Speak on behalf of my group, which consists of Davin, our group leader, Pan, Grace, and Berly. So today I will be explaining why Speak is a relevant business that has many potential and benefits that can contribute to our society. As for this business, it was based on the problem that we have witnessed in the digital era. The first aspect is that freedom of speech is definitely one of the most important aspects of human rights. Besides that, the common media that reports news, as well as information that pleases majority of people, in which it leaves no space, and also coverage for other things that also matter and require attention. This brings us to the next one, which is citizen journalism. So citizen journalism is basically based on common citizens, for instance, the everyday people who collect and process and also analyze information and then pass it to others. When it comes to citizen journalism, it is a freedom of speech platform, which gives freedom to anyone who wants to reflect on the real world by reporting news from a place or event that is probably not often covered by the mainstream media. But nonetheless, it also comes with several issues as well, which associates with the dissemination of information and also freedom of speech. As for the first one, which is non-existence platform, as we can see in the digital era right now, citizen journalists are putting up their work on a common platform that isn't really dedicated to them, in which some of them choose to use personal blogs or even some use social media for the platforms. For example, personal blogs rarely pop up on the top of search engine pages. Therefore, it will be most likely hard to discover by the potential readers. Besides that, as for social media, the platform is too general, meaning that the work will not most likely surface, which becomes one of the biggest challenges for the citizen journalist to compete with other kinds of creators. Secondly, no fact check. Citizen journalism is definitely one of the stakes of freedom of speech, but the lack of a fact checking system does play a role in why it isn't that popular. Because people want information that they receive to be truthful, real, and factual rather than scripted or just to create a sentiment towards them. And last but not least, no community. There are definitely communities for citizen journalism out there, but there are no big platforms right now for citizen journalists where they can meet together to form a strong alliance. For example, something as informal as the Reddit community or 9gag, which doesn't have to be formal, but just to gather citizen journalists all over the world to share factual and interesting news in real time. Therefore, we come up with this solution to answer the problem because we want people to be able to speak more, listen, and also analyze. First of all, we would like to propose to make a dedicated platform called Speak for any kind of journalist to be able to post their content or their work or even just discussing with other journalists while also having good times together. Secondly, we would also like to build a community where journalists can discuss and also see each other works as an ideal place for everyone, especially for those who wish to embrace the freedom of speech as well as information dissemination. And finally, a fact-checking system, like just like other platforms, which consists of a team of a fact checkers that decided whether the information is factual or not in order to serve credible information to users and people. Moreover, we would also like to create a culture where people would discuss someone's works and decide whether it's factual or credible or not, because we believe that working together is actually the best way to create a great community. The next one, which is surface. As I have mentioned, we want to propose a platform where it is inspired by the freedom of speech and also how people communicate as how the information is disseminated, which we will serve all these functions in one single platform. Therefore, what do we serve? Our first policy is definitely the human right of freedom of speech and to ensure that aspects of it are being protected. Therefore, for the first time, we will have a platform where journalists around the world will be able to report information in real time without worrying about having content not being highlighted, the bureaucracy that other journalists face in traditional media or censorship. Besides that, as I have discussed earlier, we would also like to build a community in which every single aspect that contributes to speak is considered a speaker, and the hope that a strong community will be born from this platform. Therefore, a few mechanisms will be put in place to assist. So we want to introduce a system where our team will create an annual event, online event with various achievement and even prizes to win for speakers that participate in the event to bond every journalist from different backgrounds, ages, or even political preferences. Another system is that those who contribute much towards the community will receive a certain reward that will be presented annually. Besides that, there will also be a mechanism such as leaderboards, like buttons, so forth and so on, to help with the decision in order to make the community more engaging, as well as encourage them to contribute towards the platforms. Next, in this section, we will talk about the speakers, who are what we call the people who use our platforms. Here are the users of Speak that we think will be fitting to be a part of our community. So first, we have citizen journalists who will be the inside looking out. They can provide useful and important firsthand information that many people can view through the Speak platform. Second, we have amateur journalists, essentially people who are interested in journalism. Speak can become a place for them to get familiar with journalism and also for them to learn more about it. Third, there is certified journalists who can showcase their works and what they are capable of and speak for many people to see. Next, there are content creators, not to be confused with the entertainment-based creators. We are still focusing on creators that make informative and important content that can use our platform as another tool to reach many more audiences. And lastly, we have the general public, of course. Speak's initial goal is to create a platform for people to write information firsthand in general. So in general, people should be able to access the platform while keeping in mind that there is still a fact-checking system. The next one, this is the cost structure that Speak will have. So there are two types of costs in our business, which are fixed costs, the more primary and less likely to change, and variable costs, which is more tentative and annual. So first, the fixed costs include office fees, which are the place where the employees run the hardware and basically do their works. There will also be employee salary, hardware and servers, utilities, as well as tax fees. Second, the variable costs include marketing for the platform as well as advertising. There are also employee bonuses and commissions that are done based on the condition of the company's finance. There will also be annual expenses for users, rewards, and events that I've mentioned earlier. As much as we focus on creating a community, a business obviously needs to run and capital is needed. Speak is still a for-profit business and we will be needing revenue streams to help our business. So here are several ways to support Speak. First, we can put up advertisements on our platform, which will be the main source of our income. And second, there is a premium subscription that is provided for users who prefer to enjoy Speak without the ads. Another way for Speak to earn revenue is by inviting investors who are capable of provisioning capital to kickstart the business. And lastly, we will be releasing some stakes of the company to the public to get funding and expand the business. Next up, we have our key partners and HRD. As a newborn business, we will be needing a lot of external help in order to sustain the company. One of the ways to search for professional help is by searching for key partners. So here are several potential key partners that will contribute a lot to our business. So first, we're going to, we have a digital advertising agency. If we are to partner up with several digital advertising agencies, it will ensure the sustainable flow of the businesses who want to advertise on our platforms. Second, there are programmers who can become our key partners. Even though we have our very own personal IT division to handle minor issues and bugs, partnering up with programming firms can be proven to be more sustainable if we are to make a certain contract with them. This partnership will also include platform making and programming until we have sufficient funds to create our dedicated sub company that will handle the issue regarding the platform of Speak. And lastly, we have the hardware company partnership potential, where we form a contract in which we are able to always have hardware that we acquire as well as maintenance and updates of the hardware. And we have come to the last point of our proposal presentation, which is marketing. So after creating the business, we would certainly need users. In order to create a hit and jumpstart the platform, we have made several points in accordance. So first, we will partner up with PR agency in order to help us promote our platform on a larger scale. Next, we will encourage user-generated content or UGC, where our platform users will be able to create informative content to get the users more engaged. We will also be partnering up with influencers who create informative based content, big name journalists, documenter. We can jumpstart the number of users. And lastly, we have paid ads in which we advertise Speak on a competitor's platform. We're going to be focusing more on digital platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok in the promotion of our platform. So yeah, we have reached the end of the proposal presentation of Speak. Hopefully, this has helped you better understanding our platform as well as its benefits and possible positive contribution to society. So that's it for the presentation. I would like to deeply apologize if there are any words that may have sounded offensive. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.